Hey, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Chastity. Here we talk about beauty, entertainment, celebrities, books, movies, anime, TV shows, and kind of anything else that garners my attention this week. Long time no see. If you've been wondering where I've been working because capitalism never stops. Today we're talking about season 2 of the Netflix original show Sweet Home. If you remember, about 3 years ago I did a video talking about season 1. I feel like it's right that one of my first videos back I'm talking about the second season of this show because I have a lot of opinions. Spoiler alert, most of them are negative. If you don't know what Sweet Home is, it is a Netflix original Korean drama based on a webtoon of the same name. Season 1, we follow our main character Hanso following a tragic accident in his family. He ends up leaving his family home and moving into an apartment. Soon after moving in, monsters start appearing and him and the rest of the occupants of the apartment are trapped inside, dealing with monsters within the building and monsters from outside. I promise you the first season is way more interesting than what I'm giving you. It's just there's so much that happens and I really don't want to spoil it if you have not seen the first season. The first season is one of my favorite first seasons of any Korean drama, I think. I really loved the first season of Sweet Home. If you knew me in real life, you knew I would not shut up about the show. I just thought it was so good. One of my favorite actors are in it. And I just love shows where like there's a group of people trapped in one place and they have to learn to survive together. Something about that genre really gets to me. I think it started with like Lost. Like I was a big Lost person and then I liked the first couple of seasons of like, Walking Dead. So I feel like this type of genre is my thing, and like I especially in 2020 really got into K-dramas, and at that point I was only watching romance K-dramas. So then when Sweet Home came out, it was vastly different than what I had been seeing, and like I thought it was so amazing and I still think it's really amazing. And the thing about K-dramas, if you're not into them, they don't typically have a second season because one season of a K-drama is between 16 and 20 episodes long, and these are hour-long episodes. So 16 hours worth of television is made. So like usually a whole story can be done within one season. And so I really wasn't even checking for there to be a second season of Sweet Home. I thought the first season was one and done, but then I should have realized if like Netflix gave Love Alarm a second season, I should have assumed they were gonna give Sweet Home, but I didn't think about it because it's been 3 years since the first season. So a couple months ago when I heard we were getting a second season, I was so excited because again, the first season of Sweet Home is a masterpiece. And I was excited to see what they were going to do because they have so much material because of the webtoon. And then the second season came out. And now we're here. I'm in front of you. Severely disappointed. So from this point forward, spoilers. I don't care. I'm saying what I want to say. Because this season was, in the nicest way I can put it, trash. So I'm going to be very honest in this review. So if you really loved season 2 of Sweet Home, this is not the video for you. I have nothing positive to say and everything negative to say. I did not enjoy this season at all. And I have, I'm sorry, it just is what it is. I just feel like this season was a waste of everyone's time. And I'm going to be brutally honest about it. So if you really liked season 2, click off this video. You just gonna get mad. You just gonna get mad and heated. And now we're gonna go back and forth in the comments, and we don't need to do that. It's almost Christmas. We don't need to be fighting on the internet over a TV show, but I am gonna give my honest opinion. I think how I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna talk about what season 1 did right, and then talk about where season 2 went wrong. What I really liked was this found family banding together in order to survive, because not only are they dealing with outside forces of monsters, there are monsters still in the apartments. And the cast for the first season starts off huge. I think there has to be between 20 and 30 people, and yet didn't feel like too many people, especially like again there are people being turned into monsters and we don't really know why. And so from the first episode, always episode 10, we're watching characters die. Quite often, actually. Either they are killing each other, monsters are killing them, things are happening. And it's heartbreaking watching people bond and become like family. And then one of them turns into a monster and they have to turn on that person because it really is us or them, and it's dealing with that moral dilemma after this is a person you fought next to, you've survived with, you shared food with, this person has saved you at one point, but now they're this monster whose whole thing is they want to eat you and kill you. And it's like, I don't want to have to put this person down, but it's either them or me. I just find the whole thing interesting. And again, there's just something about people being stuck in a secluded place that I like that better. I think, especially in a universe like this, it works better when they are stuck in one place. And they try to do that season 2, but it doesn't quite hit the same as it did season 1. I think it's because they had this one thing in common, that they all lived here. They were neighbors, and maybe they didn't all know each other, but they've seen each other before. You lived here together. You cohabitated before this. It's different in season 1 than it is in season 2. Season 1 does a much better job at following characters' journeys. Again, season 1 cast, not small. Starts off with 20 to 30 people, and then it dwindles down to 10. But for all 20, 30 people, I know who they are as people, as individuals, good and bad. I understand their character motivations. I know why they are doing the things they're doing. I know why they're acting the way they are. I don't get that same feeling in season 2. I really don't know anybody in the second season well enough. Even though we have previous characters, even they seem completely unfamiliar in season 2. And I'm very confused about a lot of the choices characters are making, a lot of the dialogue that is happening. Everything feels super unfamiliar, like I don't know anybody. Versus season 2, again, a big cast, but no one acted in a way that didn't make sense to me. I knew these characters. I knew their backstories. And piggybacking off of that, I feel like in season 1, character deaths felt more impactful. I felt it a lot more when a character died in season 1 versus season 2. Even like characters from season 1 who died in season 2, it didn't hold the same impact as when characters died in the first season. When people were, again, and a lot of people died season 1. And each death hurt. Even characters you don't like, you were still so attached to them as characters that seeing them die, you're like, damn. Like, yeah, you were an asshole, but you didn't need to go out like that. Like, those deaths were impactful and meaningful. Season 2, people just be dying, and I really could care less. Like, it's just like, oh, another person that I vaguely recognize has died. Season 1 really plays into a study of what makes someone human. What makes me a monster and what makes you a human. And I really feel like we saw the struggle, the battle of I'm a monster, but you're a human still doing monstrous things. How are you much better than me or better than those monsters outside? You're willing to sacrifice each other to survive, but I'm the monster. And I feel like season 2 tried it, but it just don't hit the same as the way it did season 1. And like some of my favorite scenes from season 1 was watching the struggle with Hanzo with his human side versus his monster side. And I really enjoyed all of those scenes. And I feel like season 2 kind of threw that away until like the very last episode where we see like his demon take over, not his demon, sorry, his monster take over. He's having that conversation, but it's just like, oh, it's you and you have blue eyes. Okay, it just don't. It feels so less impactful, and it feels like we kind of threw that to the wayside of like watching monsters struggle and watching humans struggle with who is the real monster. And I don't know, I feel like that was just a great part of season one that like wasn't really utilized in season two. Now let's talk about what season two got wrong. The biggest blunder of season two was the original cast barely being in it. Like, so we start off with like the 10 people that made it to the end of season one. We have the woman who's married to the military man, you know, the muscle lady, love her to death. She goes off to try to find her husband, and then Hansu gets kidnapped by another monster. Again, I'm trying to be as vague as possible while giving spoilers, but like he gets kidnapped, so he's off doing that. And then we have about 8 people from the original group, and I think it's the sister, the man who thinks he's pretty and wants to be a model, the lady with the dog, and then the chick with the that's skunk stripe. The under, you know when people have the back of their heads colored, any other moment I would know exactly what it is, but right now those 4 people die, and it's been in 3 episodes. We watched 4 people from the main cast of season 1 die. Off bat, first 3 episodes gone, and I'm like, okay. And then from that point forward, all of the original cast is kind of put to the wayside, and we're following like the crew platoon for some reason. Can I just say, I could give 2 fucks about the military men. I don't understand why they became the main characters of season 2, but they did. And so it's like we have the crew platoon, which I think that's between what, 20, 30 people. And then we go to the stadium, and we have those people. We have people from the stadium who joined in the cast. And there's so many new characters in season 2. Completely destroyed Yi Kyung's character. Like, she was this badass muscle lady who like did not take shit from anybody, and all she wanted to do was get back to her husband who was in the military, who we then find out, you know, he was one of the first monsters and he's being like experimented on. And she's like, I'm gonna save my man. I'm gonna save my man. And then she ends up, and then we find out that she's pregnant in season 1. And so we get into season 2, and she is following the military trying to get to the base because she gonna save her man. Yep, I loved her. She is so tough, so badass. And again, in like Korean media, it's really nice to see a woman be muscular and strong and not just like really dainty and soft. Like, she's like, she won't take shit from nobody. She will fuck you up. And I love that about her. And season 2 completely destroys her character. Like, once she gives birth to her daughter, she becomes a shell of who she really used to be. And I do feel like we could have had an amazing storyline about someone giving birth to a monster and dealing with that internal battle and struggle of being like, this is my child and I love them, but they're also dangerous. And it just feels like they gave up on her, because like episode 3 she gives birth, and then we don't see her again until what, episode 6, 7? There are 3 episodes without her where we could have just dealt with her trying to raise her daughter, and instead we just get flashbacks with Hee Young raising her daughter because she said, can't do it, I'm outie. And I just, to me, that just doesn't seem like something she would do, abandon her child. Because there's just some, because I feel like nothing about her makes that decision make sense to me. I just feel like we could have done so much more. And then in the end, her daughter turns her into a monster. It's just like, why are we doing this? This plot was interesting, could have been interesting if just done better. My biggest gripe with season 2 is Han So is there for the first 3 episodes. The first 3 episodes are about him, and then we have like our other subplots, And then episodes 4, 5, and 6, he is nowhere to be seen. Nowhere. Gone. Our main character, gone for 3 episodes. And then he's back for episodes 7 and 8. And that pisses me off. Because I actively enjoy the character of Hanzo. I love the actor that plays him. I'm going to assume it's because the actor had other obligations. Because I think he's in like 2 K-dramas that are coming out right now. Like new episodes are happening as we speak. So I have to assume that maybe there was like a scheduling thing. But I feel like if we waited 3 years, what was a couple more months? You know what I mean? He is the main character. I feel like if the main character has prior obligations, because the first season, like, of Sweet Home, he had only been like in, the other most popular thing he'd been in was Love Alarm, and then he got Sweet Home, and then his career just boomed after that. So I understand the fact that this man is a busy man, but let's wait until he's not busy anymore, because I truly do believe the story suffered because our main character was gone for 3 of the episodes. And then I'm stuck with characters I don't like. I'm gonna say it. The season 2 cast is some of the most unlikable people. New and old characters. Just annoying. Everybody irritated the shit out of me. I would say I have pretty good media literacy, as well as I am an avid reader. So I feel like I can digest something and understand it. I was incredibly fucking confused all season long. I'm sorry. Like, I was just like, what is happening? And like, when stuff would make sense, I would still be confused. Like, and then also there's like a huge time skip that it really isn't addressed. Like, we just see like Shorty get a bob, and we're just supposed to know that there has been a significant time jump. And I didn't realize how much time had gone by until like what, the 7th or 8th episode, where someone was like, it's been a year since the monsters attacked. I said, it's been a year? Like, I'm confused. And like, there's plots happening, and it feels like we'll come into a scene and it's like, I need added context. What the hell is going on? Like, I was just constantly in a state of confusion. And again, I watch animes dubbed sometimes, and I frequently watch K-dramas. So it's not like I'm having a disconnect because I'm reading the subtitles. That's never been a problem. There is an issue happening where nothing is being fully flushed out and explained. Scenes are happening, characters are here, nothing is being contextualized. What is happening? Speaking of characters, again, a huge cast. And we have characters being introduced with like no introductions or backstories. They're just there. They exist now. Don't know much about them, but they're here. Like, who are you people? What are you fighting for? What makes you you? Can I get a nugget of information about you? You're just a part of the cast now. And then some of these characters die, and I'm like, don't know who you are, weird man who was harassing young girls because you're a creep. Like, what is happening? Who are these people? Like, again, we did not. I'm sorry. It's because I was lost for so much of it. Because, again, I don't care about the military men. I will say, all the men of the Crow platoon, fine as hell. Fine as hell. And that's why I kept watching. Beautiful men doing beautiful things. But other than that, I'm like, who are these men? Like, who really are you guys? And like, we're supposed to be like, I don't know, feeling sympathetic to the military. I don't feel much outside of like, you're cute. I think they tried to make us be like, it's hard being part of the military in times like this. Okay, you signed up for that. It's supposed to be bad for you? I don't. And it's like, it's the 20-30 men from the Crew platoon, and then it's all of the people living in the stadium. Who are these people? How did they get here? How did they get to like living in this? Like, there's so much that needs to happen to build this world. Because again, they try to redo season 1 with all of these people being trapped in one location, but at this point there's way too many people in the cast, and like we don't get any time to like get to know anyone. It's just fast paced. But who are these people? These, I assume the people in the stadium are the people I'm supposed to be rooting for, but I don't give two fucks about them. So now where do we go from here? One of my favorite aspects of season 1 was the monsters, because it seemed like the people who were being turned into monsters and type of monsters they were being turned into were like tied to who they were as humans, and it feels like the like monsterification had like a deeper meaning and purpose. And I will admit, the special effects not great, but the monsters were so interesting to look at that you kind of just let that go. The monsters in season 2 were generic and boring. We had, I think the most interesting monster was like that lizard one who like wasn't trying to attack people. They were simply trying to protect their baby, and then the military did what they did best and killed a mother protecting his baby. And then like we had like these weird like trash monsters that would come out of the forest every once in a while. It was just like, it felt like in season 1 all the monsters were unique and diverse and different from each other, and then we get into season 2 and we have like several copies of the same type of monsters. Why? Because that wasn't how it was being portrayed in season 1. And now we have like entire colonies of the exact same type of monsters. Okay. Special effects was even worse this season, but I will say after doing some research, I found out the people that do the VFX also do the VFX for Stranger Things, Avatar, what else? Avatar, Game of Thrones, and The Avengers. So those were probably extremely overworked people, and so I'm not gonna give them too much. I ain't gonna give y'all too much. Y'all are overworked people that desperately need a better union. So I'm gonna let them have that one with the VFX. The slave work was happening in those studios. I'm so sorry. But just like the monsters themselves just weren't interesting the way they were season 1. And it feels like everything we're building with the monsterification of season 1 kind of got thrown to the side. Like, again, it's weird because we have the scientists and we're having the conversation about the monsters, but it feels like we're having a completely separate one than what we had season 1. Being a monster, I find it so interesting that like when the platoon would be out, there'd be like, the monsters would come in deep. There'd be 50, 60, 100 of them motherfuckers. And then when like individual people would go out, the amount of monsters we would see would be significantly smaller. Like, is that a big deal? No. But did I like it? No. It just bothered me. I just feel like everything bothered me because, like, when I tell you, I was texting my friend, like, I don't know if I could finish this. Like, I was struggling to get through 8 episodes. 8. Now, I've been seeing floating around that they filmed season 2 and 3 together, and then they split it up. Is that the reason why season 2 is the way it is? Because it's all meant to be a build-up for the second half of the season? If that's the case, who made that decision? And they need to be fired. Because I'm sorry, but like 8 build-up episodes? Egregious. Fucking egregious. I am very sad that like I did not like season 2, because once I found out we were getting a season 2, I was so excited. I really love season 1, and I feel like the best thing that happened because of season 2 is that it's like reignited my desires to rewatch the first season. because the first season is just that good, and it still, like 3 years later, is still an amazing first season. I just wish season 2 held up with it. Again, if what I'm being told is true, and that like season 3 and 2 were filmed together and then split up, I'm hoping that season 3 kicks it up a notch, because season 2 is bad. It was so bad, and I've seen a lot of other people be very disappointed about season 2, so I'm happy it's not just me. But even if it was still just me, I would still be here in front of you being a very loud hater. I'm sorry. Listen, I stand on my hater shit. I don't like something, I'm gonna be loud about it. I expected way too much. It did not meet my expectations even a little bit, and that makes me really sad, because I really like season 1 a lot. And I expected more, I wanted more, and I didn't get it. If season 3 is equally not as good as season 2, and it gets a 4th season, I will not be watching. I can't do this to myself. I'm just gonna consistently rewatch season 1 and pretend like the other seasons never happened. I do that for a lot of shows that like have a great first season and then a boo boo caca season 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'll do it with Sweet Homes if I have to, because that first season is unmatched. And if you have not seen it, I would highly recommend it. I do not recommend watching season 2. I recommend probably watching a video of someone going episode through episode, so you know what happens. But I feel like nothing happens really. I don't know, maybe I need someone to explain season 2 to me, because I feel like I watched a lot of nothing. But yeah, that's it for me. What are your guys' thoughts and opinions of season 2 of Sweet Home? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What do you think they should have fixed? What do you think they should have kept? Do you think it's better than season 1? You better not say that. I swear to God, I will get violent in these comment sections if you think season 2 is better than season 1. But yeah, that's it for me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.